today our new topic called name resolution. So our last two topics were about Active Directory, workgroup model, domain model, how it works and all. So we will understand today name resolution. So what is name resolution? So name resolution, we have two types of name resolution. Two name resolutions. One is NetBIOS name resolution and DNS name resolution. So what NetBIOS name resolution? What is NetBIOS? NetBIOS full form. NetBIOS in the form of Network Basic Input Output System. This is a full form of NetBIOS. Here we have domain name service. Sometimes it is known as system. So in computer networking we are having two types of name resolution: NetBIOS name resolution, DNS name resolution. However, NetBIOS name resolution is very old. DNS name resolution, which will be very useful in nowadays. But let us see one by one why these name resolutions and how this name resolution works. So let us go to understand first what is NetBIOS name resolution. So by understanding NetBIOS name resolution, I can say it resolves what? NetBIOS name resolution resolves computer names to IP address. So in computer network, NetBIOS name resolution resolves computer name to IP address. That is called NetBIOS name resolution. We have domain name resolution. It resolves domain names. In other words, we can say host names, website names. So domain names, it resolves domain names to IP address. How domain names are look like? How NetBIOS names are look like? When you look at the domain name, you may have NetBIOS name like this: system1 user -pc server1 server, like whatever, server 01, like this is how NetBIOS computer names are look like. When you look at this domain names, how domain names are look like? We have www.google.com, www.microsoft.com. This is how domain names are look like. This is how NetBIOS names are look like. So these are the different names which is in computer networking which we use it. Before going to name resolution, we have to know why should we use name resolution. Why should we use name resolution? Let me ask you a question. If you have a computer, if you have a server, whatever server, it could be domain controller, it could be web server, whatever. If you want to communicate if you want to communicate with the domain controller or any web server or any server in the networking, you need IP address, right? You need IP address. See, without IP address there is no communication between servers and clients. However, we need IP address. Is it possible to remember IP address? Is it possible to remember IP address of all computers? Not possible, right? So then we need one best resolution. We need one easiest accessing method. So where we can understand easily, where we can remember easily. If I ask you one question, tell me some website IP addresses. So list list 10 web site IP addresses. Do you have any do you have known IP addresses? Do you know? Can you list me all? You don't know, right? Even you ask me the same question, I don't know. I cannot remember all these IP addresses. But I can do one thing. I can remember most of the websites. So if I ask you list 10 web site names, and you may tell more than 10, because it is very easy to remember name, it is very difficult to remember IP address. That's the reason we need name resolution. That's all. And we just now we discussed we have two name resolution methods. One is NetBIOS, another is DNS. So let us understand in detail how NetBIOS names works. So what I have to do, I will take some servers. Let me bring some servers here in computer network. I want one server icon. Let me take this server. See, this is my computer. Imagine this is my server computer, either server OS or client OS, it doesn't matter. I have 3 computers like this in this network, 3 or 4 computers. Right now in my computer I have 3 virtual machines, so that I can go with 3. All these computers belongs to same network. I used to say 172.30.0.10. This is the first computer's IP address, 172.30.0.20. Second computer's IP address, third one 172.30.30, like this. And also I will be having a computer name on it. So we used to say C1 is the computer name. C1 is the computer name of the first computer, and C2 is the computer name. Similarly, we will be having C3 of this computer, third computer C3. All these 3 computers are connected in a LAN, in a switch virtually. Now I want to test the connectivity between these 3 computers. Let me go back. We have all the 3 computers here, C1, C2, C3. I click on C1. So when I click on C1, right now I am in C1. I'll go to start, open command prompt. Once I open command prompt, I will type ipconfig command. This will shows me the IP address of your computer, and I will type one more command called host name. Is a command. It says server 1. It says server 1. I just wanted to change the name of the server, C1, C2, C3. Let's go to C2. Let me check what is the name of this computer here. I'll go to command prompt, ipconfig. The IP address will be there. The another command is host name. It says server 2. Okay, fine. Then I go to C3. C3 is somewhat older OS. I still open command prompt. In this command prompt, I will check ipconfig. I will change the color for better visibility. ipconfig command to see the IP address. Host name is command to see the computer name. Let's see, we have computer name C3. So what I do, according to that previous computers, I will change the computer names sysdm.cpl. This is how changing the computer name. See, I am going from the basics. However, our concept is to understand DNS, but still wait, we have to understand what is NetBIOS first to know the value of DNS. I will use to say server 3 here. This is a computer name. I am changing it right now. It will allows me to restart. I have to restart. Let it restart. I'll come back. So these all the computers, and that computers names I will post it here. This is server 1, and we have computer called server 2, and we have computer called server 3. Like this, we have 3 computers and 3 names of the servers. And let me go back to check C1. It is there, and C3 it should come up with a restart and login to server 3. Now it is getting ready. Now what I do, I will go back to C1. I am in C1. I just want to bring one tool here. Just a minute. I will go to settings. I wanted to add one tool. Okay, fine. It is not there in this local machine. What should I do? I will just cancel everything. I simply go to download network monitor tool, Microsoft network monitor tool. It is very important tool for us to understand, to work with it. So I'm just downloading for network monitor tool for 64-bit 3486 64-bit. Why I am downloading this tool? I have to show you what happened in the background while we are using NetBIOS. It is downloaded. I will go system settings, options, sharing, it is there on my desktop. I just want to bring network monitor tool in this local VM so that I can show you something while NetBIOS name resolution. What happens with the NetBIOS name resolution? This is a very basic topic of name resolution. So here is the network monitor tool. I just bring into my local PC. I will install it. If you have any queries, post in a comment. I will try to answer your queries. but the query should be related to this topic. I think we downloaded the wrong version, wrong architecture for this. Let me choose I'm installing again, downloading again, but okay, we will bring into our local desktop. Yes, I brought it, so I'm installed now. It's very simple, and you can ask any queries if you have anything related to this. And I got one comment from Navanithan Krishnan. Thanks for spending your valuable precious time for us. Most welcome, and it's my pleasure. I saw people in IT struggling a lot with having no knowledge of basic fundamentals. So that's why we decided to teach the basic, because Microsoft has removed all the certifications. Microsoft has expired all the certifications of Windows Server, SharePoint, SCCM. So there will be no more certifications from Microsoft for Windows Server. So we have to read these topics for basic alone. It is all the basics. However, we go in depth of server, this is going to be a basics, because cloud is going to rule the world, so that we have to know this. That's why we decided to teach all these topics with the free of cost. So you just attend this session continuously, you will get everything related to Windows Server. Okay, we have installed it. Let's come back. Thank you for your patience, for waiting and watching this. Let me back. See, I am in which computer? Once again, server 1. I will clear the screen. I'll try to ping. I'll try to ping with the 172.30.0.20. It obviously pinged because two computers are in the same network. I will try to ping to another computer 172.30.0.30. 30.0.30. It also pings. So all the computers will pinging. Okay, fine. And what I want is, I want to test the same connectivity by using computer name server 2. Will it ping? Will it ping successfully? Yes, it is pinging. See what happening in the backend. Server 2, I use server 2. So server 2 is a name of the computer, but still resolving with the name to IP address. So how it is working in backend? See, every computer in all Windows operating systems, the default, the NetBIOS name resolution is enabled by default. NetBIOS name resolution is enabled by default in all Windows operating system. You need not to do anything. You just go to computer, type the name of the computer which you want to communicate. You can start communicating. Instead of using computer's IP address, we can use computer names. See, you want to see once again, instead of using IP address, what I do, I will go to run. I will type a command unc path 172.30.0.20. This is a second computer's IP address. If I type like this, you will be getting these share folders of the computer. Instead of doing this, I can simply go with /172.30.0. Sorry, I have to type server 2. If I type server 2, you will be getting same folders and same access. you are understanding, right, what I'm trying to say. So this is called name resolution. This is called NetBIOS name resolution. And how this name resolution happens, this is what I wanted to show. So let us go and understand let's go to open this network monitor tool. What is this network monitor tool? If you are very new to this, for you, network monitor tool is a tool to capture the traffic what is going outside the computer, which traffic is coming inside the computer. How we have CCTV camera in front of the door or any entrance, every computer has an NIC card. Every computer has it. When the traffic going outside the NIC card, when traffic coming inside the NIC card, the NIC card will capture this. The NIC card will capture all the traffic which is going outside, which is coming inside the computer. So what I do, I will go back to the C1. So we planned to install it. We have already installed. We just go click the capture tab and start capture. While the capture is going on, so much traffic will be monitored. Why? Because this computer got connected to internet. What I will do, I will go and pinging. I am pinging to server. I am pinging to server 2. When I say enter, I got response. I got response from the server 2. And I have to stop the capture and filter here with the NetBIOS. I have to filter NetBIOS. Yes. So I will show you something like this. NBTNS. That's the best way. NBTNS. Apply. You can see this fonts, right? Now you can now the fonts are visible. See, understand carefully. It seems to be like a boring subject, but if you understand, very interesting. See, what is source IP address? 0.10. I will use the shortcut way, 0.10, the source IP address. In our topology, in network topology, in tab, I will go back to this. This is 0.10. This is a source IP address. So this computer is sending request. It is sending a request. What request it is sending? When you go back to computer, source IP address. What is the destination IP? It is not sending to the exact computer who wanted to resolve. It is going to all computers in the network. This is the broadcast IP address. The destination is broadcast, which means what's happening in the background. You have to understand carefully. See, I'm telling you all this to understand DNS. If you know this, you will understand DNS very well. If you don't know, then you will understand DNS seems very difficult. So what I wanted to do, this computer wanted to resolve the computer name of this computer, name to IP. So what happening in the background, when you say ping server IP, server name, this computer sending a broadcast request to all computers in the LAN. So this is a broadcast request. There is a one query request. It is going as a broadcast. I will keep like this here. This is one request. It is going as broadcast. Broadcast means what? Generated from one computer, from going to all computers. Every computer will receive this broadcast. Saying what? If you go here, go tab and say what is a protocol? The protocol which says NBTNS. What is NBTNS? NetBIOS Name Service. NetBIOS Name Service. What the service request for? This is request for server 2, which means what's happening in the background. This computer this system server 1 computer asking who is server 2. The server 1 computer is asking who is server 2 in the network. It's asking server 2. This request is going to everybody in the LAN. Now there is a server which running with the server 2. That server is going to respond back. The server 2 which we have in the network, it is going to respond back. Let's see here. There is a server 2 source. Destination is exactly to server 1, which means the source computer sending a request as a broadcast, but the destination computer replying back as a unicast. NetBIOS uses broadcast. This is what I am trying to explain you. The point which I wanted to tell you here, NetBIOS name resolution is enabled by default. That's okay, we understood. We don't want to do anything. We just assigned IP address and start working. But what we have to understand, NetBIOS use broadcast to resolve names to IP address. NetBIOS uses broadcast. Is broadcast is the best way for name resolution? No, it's not a best approach. Why? Because when computer sends a query request, it goes to every computer. The network performance may slow. If you want to resolve computer name to server 2 to server 3, and you have to run the same command, and this computer will generating a broadcast request to all computers in the LAN. This causes the network performance. You will be having low network performance. NetBIOS is a best for a LAN network. This is a best name resolution. Best name resolution for LAN, local area network. What is local area network? Within a building. Within a building network, or we can say small networks. Small networks. But when you have large number of networks, when you have vast number of networks, it is not a best name resolution method. The best name resolution method for the large number of networks is a DNS. You understand why we use DNS. But however, you can use NetBIOS within the LAN. If you don't want to use NetBIOS name resolution, and you can use DNS. So NetBIOS names are flat naming system which uses computer name to IP address, but DNS names are hierarchy. We'll understand today's class how it works. So till this you have clear so far. If you have any queries regarding this what we have discussed, you can ask a questions in the comment section. So I'll keep on watching it and I'll explain you as per your doubt. If you ask something, so that I will come to know. Ram Kumar is asking, 1 week you will take class SCCM concept, sir. Okay, Ram Kumar, let me go on that. First of all, I would just have to check continuously. I have to go through the EXD first. Later on, we can go on it. Okay, fine. What we say, I hope you don't have any questions. We can jump to DNS concept. What else we have to tell in NetBIOS? That's enough. And still we have lot of concepts to teach NetBIOS, but however our concept is not to teach NetBIOS. I just wanted to teach what is DNS. Let's jump into DNS. If you want to disable the NetBIOS, it is possible to disable NetBIOS. We can go to tab and here go to computer. I'll minimize this. If you want to disable the NetBIOS names in all Windows computers, we can go simply sysdm.cpl. In system properties, you go to NetBIOS disable ncpa.cpl. ncpa .cpl. In network connections, properties, go to IPv4 properties. If you go in advanced, there is a tab called wins. The tab called wins, and there you can see disabled. If you disable this option, so you will not be able to resolve NetBIOS names from this computer or to any other computers. So NetBIOS name resolution will not happen when you disable these options. And I got one question from Perumal. Is there any role hosts file will playing here? No host file works, but we have some LM host file in local computers which will play with a different there we have to teach a Win server and all, Windows Internet Naming Service we have to install, we have to have two different LANs. It is not necessary. Why I'm not teaching you all this? Nowadays no company will use this kind of concepts, so that's why I'm not going through that wins concept and all. I can teach NetBIOS, I can go with the NetBIOS with in detail. It may take another 4 to 5 hours class, which I don't want to use your time to explain non-usable concepts which is not used. So I just wanted to introduce name resolution with NetBIOS for 30 minutes. That's all my aim. I don't want to go in depth of NetBIOS because no company or nowhere NetBIOS is using it. I have one question from Muhammad Arif. How we come to know what type of resolution computer is using? Very nice question. So if you see the first one, which my notebook, if I go back, see I was telling you that computer names are look like flat names, single word name. This is flat name. This name is known as NetBIOS name, but you don't have any name like sys.com like that. So we cannot use dot in the computer names. If you are using dot, that is completely DNS name, domain name, host name. If you are using name without a dot, that goes to be NetBIOS name. In many cases, most of the internet names we use DNS only, not NetBIOS. If you are using NetBIOS name, you can use only within a LAN, not outside the LAN. You open browser and type something NetBIOS name, you cannot access, right? Let me do like this. You have a computer, you have a laptop. In that laptop, what you will do, let me bring that laptop icon, so that might make sense. You open browser in the laptop and you type something like this. To open google.com, what you will do, www.google.com. You will type like this, right? So what is it name? You have to know whether your computer using NetBIOS name or DNS name. But when you type something like this, this name contains dot, which is a hierarchy. This is definitely DNS name. You cannot use Google server's computer name to access the website. If Google server PC like Google PC, google.pc, not like that, right? It may be Google-PC. There are some name will be there in Google server, I don't know. But you cannot use Google server's computer names to access the Google web page. You always use the Google website name to access the Google web page. You understood this, right? So the name itself will decide what name we are using. If you are using name with a dot, it is definitely DNS name. If you are using name without a dot, it could be the local NetBIOS name. That's the major difference here. What else we have to answer? Yeah, I got everything. I hope Muhammad Arif is clear. Let me come back to the concept. I just wanted to close this. So let's introduction to DNS. What is DNS here? There is a first point. I'll go point by point. This will be very useful for you to understand and follow this. DNS, domain name service. Actually DNS is a service. Sometimes it is known as server, sometimes it is known as system. However, but it is actually service. Domain name service. What does it do? It resolves DNS. It resolves domain names to IP addresses and IP addresses to domain names. It is a service used to resolve domain name to IP addresses, IP address to domain name. That's the use of DNS service. How the DNS service works? This is a very important question. Domain name to IP address resolution, IP address to domain name resolution. How domain names are look like? See how domain names are look like. Just before I told you www.ekascloud.com is a domain name. This is how domain name look like. What is com here? What is Ekascloud here? What is www here? We will understand everything one by one. Let's go to the next point. Hierarchy structure of DNS. Hierarchy structure of DNS. We have to understand the hierarchy structure. This is very important for understanding the DNS. Listen carefully, observe carefully, and we have to understand the DNS, right? DNS hierarchy structure. The hierarchy starts from the dot. The hierarchy starts from the dot. This is a second point. You can consider this is the second point. What is the first point? What is the first point here? The first point is DNS. What is DNS? Okay. The second point is hierarchy structure of DNS. How the hierarchy structure comes? It will start from the dot. What is dot here? Dot is a root in the DNS. Dot is a root in the DNS. What is root? Who is root? Where is root? I will explain you everything in the next classes, class by classes. You please keep on watching our session, then only you will come to know. I cannot explain you everything in one session because DNS is very vast topic. I will take another 5 hours, which means 5 to 6 sessions related to DNS. Okay, I will teach you everything in DNS. Left, right, intranet, internet, whatever methods are there in the DNS, I will teach you everything. You just keep on following the sessions. That is what you have to do. And this is a dot called root. Root means that's a starting point of the DNS. Starting point of the DNS. If I want to show you very quickly what I am trying to say, I have one image. But anyway, I will explain you later what is it. You just observe here. See, there is a root server, dot, root server, government server, White House, domain server. We have some servers like this, but anyway, we will come to these concepts later, not now. I just wanted to give some hint. This is what we are going to discuss in the next webinars. I'll skip all that. I will go back. I will just telling you what is dot. Dot is called root. Under root we have so many domains, top level domains, top level zones. Com, edu, org, gov, int, net, mil. Com, org, there will be 7 top level zones: edu, org, gov, inet, international, networking, military. Yes, 7 is there. These are the 7 top level zones in the internet. There are top level zones, TLZ: commercials, organizationals, educational, government, international, under networking, and military, US military. So all these are top level zones, and we have some country wide zones, .in, .us, .uk, .ge, all that country level zones. So these are known as what? TLZ. TLZ, top level zones. In each zone we will be having domains. The domain is called Microsoft. Microsoft is a domain. Ekascloud is a domain. US government, US gov, educational, like we are having many domains in each zone. Here all domains. These are known as domains. Here is a root. This is top level zones and domains. In some domains we may have records. Some domains we may have records, like www is a record, and some domains may have subdomains. Docs is a subdomain. Under docs some may have records. www is what? Is a record. Like we may have records in it. Microsoft may have subdomain. Subdomains may have record. Some domains may have record directly. These all known as what? Domains. These are domains. Let me give some here, like this. Domains. What are all this? This is known as, whatever we have, this is known as records. Resource records, or simply say we can records. And what is this? Docs. This is known as subdomains, child domains. Have you seen this? What you understood till this? So here what? Root, top level zone, domains, subdomains, records. Got it? This is called hierarchy structure of the DNS. This is called hierarchy structure of the DNS. So okay, done. What we do here, we do something. Let us understand the third point. The third point is FQDN, fully qualified domain name. One of the common interview questions, anybody who are going for Windows Server, FQDN, fully qualified domain name. What is fully qualified domain name? A complete DNS name is known as fully qualified domain name. A complete DNS name. A complete DNS name is known as fully qualified domain name, FQDN. A complete DNS name. What is a complete DNS name? A name which contains everything. Let me take for example, what is a complete DNS name? Let's type www. Microsoft.com and dot. If I elaborate this name into FQDN, let's see here how this is known as fully qualified domain name. If you take this, the dot is a root, the com is a zone, The Microsoft is a domain. Documents is a subdomain. The www is the record, which means we have root, we have zone, we have domain, we have subdomain, child domain, subdomain, and we have record. What does this means? This is all known as fully qualified domain name. Fully qualified domain name. See, every week I used to say this. Every week you have to have notes, proper notes, pen, paper, not like rough notes. You have to have a complete, neat notes with multicolors. You have to follow this because you are attending a course. You are not just time pass in Facebook. So please take serious, and you have to copy everything is. But still, this video will be available in Ekascloud Facebook page, and you can access the same video in Huzaifa YouTube channel. So I got one comment. Good to see you classes after long gap, sir. You class brush up for me. Okay, thank you Mohan Babu. So we'll go back to concepts. So the third point is over, second point is over. How many points has of now clear? The one which we understood what is DNS, 2 hierarchy structure of DNS, 3 fully qualified domain name. So these are the three important one which to understand, to jump into DNS. Let's go jump to fourth point is the important one called install and configure DNS service. Installation and the configuration of a DNS service. How to install? There are two steps. We have installation and configuration. So let us go to install DNS service. So DNS service installation. What I have to do? I'll take one Windows server. Let me bring some server icon here. Yes, I'll take this. I will take one server. I use Windows Server operating system in it. See, it is mandatory to have Windows Server operating system in your computer. Without a Windows Server, without this, you cannot install DNS on the server, Windows Server. Okay, let me type this Windows Server. We have to have Windows Server OS. It could be any OS, doesn't matter which OS. Okay, inside this server we'll go to using server manager. We use server manager and to install DNS. So let's go here. What I do, I will take one computer 172.30.0.10. This is a computer which I will take to install a DNS. So let me go back to C1, computer 1. I'll close everything. I'll close the network monitor tool which we have captured before, which I don't want to save anything, and still I will keep this network monitor tool which is useful for me for next classes. I will go to server manager. It is opening. It takes a little bit time to open server manager. Don't think that I am taking in Windows Server 12 or 2. Even though I teach the same concept in 19, the concept will be same. It is not like a older OS, older topic, new OS, new topic. If I want to teach you in 2019, I have to teach the new services of 2019. Then only it is going to be 2019. Installing Windows Server in 2019 is not a teaching of Windows Server 2019. Understand, right? So let's go with the add roles and features. I'll follow all these steps step by step. You can confirm the IP address in this computer, and I will give check mark to DNS. Check mark to DNS. I will have a question for you to ask. See, you have to answer it in comment section. Then only I will come to know whether you are interacting or not with me. I have a question here and you have to answer here. So what is my question is, can Active Directory works without DNS? Can AD works without DNS? What is your answer? You have to answer in comment section. You please answer, then only I will come to know how much you are understanding. What could be the answer? Yes or no? Type something. I want a response from you. Can AD works without Active Directory, without a DNS? Joseph Paul answering, Pavan Kumar answering, Muhammad Arif answering, but they are responding, right? It is very great. This will give motivation. See, this is how interaction. Even though I cannot listen your voice, but still I'm interacting with you. So okay, around 4 members answer. Great, that's fine. Yes, absolutely right. Which means I cannot. AD cannot works without DNS. That we understood in the last session itself. Thank you. Everybody is answering. Thank you very much. And yes, absolutely right. Everybody saying no because everybody understood. Everybody has some knowledge. Well done. I will have one more question. Let me ask and I will answer for this question. Can DNS works without AD? What do you say? Let you answer. You type something for the next question. This is next question. Can DNS works without AD? Can I install DNS? Can I configure DNS? Can I install DNS and configure DNS without Active Directory? Will it work? What do you say? Yes. Now so many answers. Yes sir, everybody is answering. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your response. This give me a lot of energy, because when student is interacting, the teacher will have motive to teach. When students is not interacting, then there is no motive to teach. Great, very great. I got response from everybody. Thank you all once again. Let's come back to session. So here this is what we are going to apply right now. Anyway, we will come to this concept later. I will apply this concept now. Can DNS works without AD? Definitely works. It works without AD. That is what we are going to do in another 3 classes. I will teach you everything in DNS. Joseph Paul is asking, please explain for this question. So how it means, let's go back. She's asking something. Anyway, I'm going to explain you in later session, but for your question, can AD works without DNS? No, not works, because when you want to make, do you understand, in the previous session we will be having one server, so many clients. When you try to make the member of domain, okay, when you try to make a computer is a member of domain, you need a name, right? You will use name to join into computer domain. So we use domain name to join into domain. So without domain name, it is not possible to make the computers into domain member. I hope you are remembering. Now you are asking second question. Asking the first second question. Okay, now the second question is the answer for this is a class is the answer. Can DNS works without AD? Yes, definitely works. How it is? How it works? Let's see today. Today we have a session. Today we'll understand. And this is what we are going, right? Let me go back. It's got hanged. Just a minute. So I'll go to tab. I will go to C1. Yes, it works definitely. So let us see here. Today we are going to understand how DNS work without Active Directory. That's why I confirm with you all guys, without DNS I'm installing DNS, because you should not have a doubt. To install DNS we need to have Active Directory. No, not like that. It works fine. So we will see, and we will see today how it works. Now installation is going on in DNS. It'll take few seconds. If you have any queries, you can post your questions in comment section. It's getting little bit slow. Usually it won't take that much time to install. Once let it install. Meanwhile we go back. We'll understand something like let's come back. After installation of a DNS server, we will have one console called DNS Manager. DNS Manager. So it is a built-in. It is a built-in tool, built-in console in console to manage DNS servers. DNS servers. The command, we have some shortcut here. We have some shortcut to open this tool. The shortcut will be DNS mgmt.msc. DNS mgmt.msc. This is a shortcut to open DNS console. It's a shortcut. So let's go back to check what is the status of DNS server. Still the installation process is going on. It has taken a very long time to install, but usually it won't take that much time to install. Yes, it got installed. Installation succeed. Okay, close, and I close everything. I will go to command prompt. I will use one command called DNS mgmt.msc, because this command will bring up this DNS manager. This is what I told you. It's a built-in console. This console has to manage DNS servers, and we have something here. We understand one by one. See, I am installing DNS, install the DNS, I install DNS, I just start creating and configuring. So which means to do all this, we don't want any active directory, right? Understand? So we don't want any active directory to do all this activity, opening console, creating, deleting. Let's have to understand some major topics before going to configure. We'll go back. Let us understand. Installation is over. We have to configure. What to configure? What to configure? The configuration of DNS. Before entering into configuration, we have to understand database of DNS servers. What is the database of DNS servers? When you install DNS, there must be a database, right? The database of DNS servers is zones. Zones are the database of DNS servers. Zones are the database of DNS servers. What is a zone? You may have asking a question called what is a zone? Zone is a collection of record. Zone is a collection of records. Zone is a collection of records. What is a record? Record is nothing but a name and IP. A record is nothing but name and IP address. And we have lot of types of record. There are many different types of record. We will understand one by one in the next sessions. But records within the zone within database or DNS servers. So without a zone, there is no use of DNS server. Okay, without database, there is no use of DNS servers. Let us imagine, think like this. You will be having a web server. Okay, you are having a web server. What is the job of web server? The job of web server to provide web pages. When the web server does not have any web page, what is the purpose of having web server, right? So you have to have a web page to provide the database. So web page is the database of web server. Web page is the database of web servers. Zones are the database of DNS servers. This is a major important thing. And now there are nature of zone. There are two nature of zone. Nature of zones. Nature of zones. We have two nature of zones. The one is forward lookup zone. Forward lookup zones. Reverse lookup zones. Reverse lookup zones. What is forward lookup zone? Forward lookup zones resolves names to IP address. FLZ, in short form FLZ. It resolves names to IP addresses. And reverse lookup zones will do the same reverse, IP address to names. DNS will do both, name to IP, IP to name. So forward lookup zones resolving name to IPs, reverse lookup zones resolving IP to names. In which case we go for name to IP address? In which case? There are the major case where everybody use it. The major cases in all the scenarios, all use cases. You are using internet from the past 5 years, 4 years or 10 years, right? How many days you have used name to IP resolution? Name to IP means you type name, getting the web page. You type name, getting the website. You type name, getting the files. This is where we are using all the major use cases. We use forward lookup zone. There are minor, which means in security purpose only we use it. Security use case. If you want to monitor some servers, clients, for mail and all, there you use reverse lookup zone. Reverse lookup zone for major monitoring purposes and forward lookup zones for major activities like named resolution. And but DNS will do both. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a forward lookup zone. So creating a forward lookup zone. How to create forward lookup zone, and while creating forward lookup zone, what options will be there, we will see one by one. I will go back to tab C1, that is my DNS server. Here I have forward lookup zones, and you see one more option called global logs. The global logs, which tells all the DNS events, when the DNS is installed, when the zone is created, which zone is created, who accessed, who not accessed, all these activities, auditing activities will be stored. If anything happens to DNS, information logs, warning logs, error logs will be stored in this. Anyhow, all these logs will be present in the event viewer, but in DNS manager itself we have a separate option to see all the DNS logs activities. That's anyway fine. We are here to create a new zone. So we have to create a new zone, which is forward lookup zone. That forward lookup zones tells us to how to resolve name to IP. What I will do, I will go with the forward lookup zone. I'm creating a new zone. While creating a new zone, we have three types of zones. While creating a new zone, we have three types of zones: primary zone, secondary zone, and stub zone. There are three types of zone. See, and today's session I am going to explain only a primary zone, not stub zone, not secondary zone. In later classes we will understand, not now. I just wanted to clear the concept only by making primary zone. Don't ask any question related to secondary, stub zone, and just attend the next session so that you will understand everything very clearly. I will go with primary zone now. Select primary zone. Next, zone name. I used to say Ekascloud. Ekascloud.com. Ekascloud.com. I can type anything, just only Ekascloud, or you can say Ekascloud.com. I can type anything, it's all my choice. I'll go next. Whenever I create a zone, there must be a file gets created automatically. So what here is, when I am creating a new zone, the name of the zone is Ekascloud.com. Ekascloud.com is the name of the zone. So what I told you just before, zones are the database of DNS servers, which means there is a database which is zone. So whenever you create a new zone, there is a file gets created automatically in the DNS path. Ekascloud.com.dns. .dns is the file format of the database. Where this file gets created? This file gets created automatically in C:, a Windows folder, system32 system32 in DNS. This is the database path, this is a database path, and this is a database file. Whenever you create a new primary zone, what happens? This primary zones will create a new file. That file contains in this path. If you want to take the backup of DNS, you can use this path to take the backup of DNS. Let me go and verify whether the file is exist or not. See, right now we go to path, Windows folder, under folder system32, under system32 system32, there is a folder called DNS. You don't file any ekascloud.dns file because still we didn't create any zone. When I go and finish, it will create. Let's go next. And do not allow dynamic updates. It is not a DDNS, it is just a DNS, only DNS. Installing DNS, if we want a dynamic DNS, it must be integrated with the Active Directory. Anyway, we will see this in later sessions. We will have more sessions. I will just go with the default option and finish. When I say finish, you will see one file gets created automatically in the database file called .dns. Whatever name you given, this will create automatically. Like this, you want to create one more zone. Let's create one more zone. The zone name is Microsoft. Microsoft.com, and next finish. Like this, you may have many DNS zone servers. You may have many DNS files. However, how many zones you create, that many files will create. If you want to take the backup of DNS, you keep this file into safe place. It will be the backup of your DNS. This is a path, this is a database file, and this is very important for interview questions. If you are working in the Windows environment, if you want to become a Windows Server administrator, if you want to know all this and you have to know this. And anyway, we will be having some sessions, interview preparations and exam preparations. Some sessions will be completely interview preparation. I will take some questions from websites, and I will give all the clarifications how to prepare. Once we have to finish the topic first. Once we finish the topic, we will understand everything. Till this, you clear everything, and how it is going to work. What I have to do, if I go inside this zone, you will be having two records. These two records will automatically create. How these two records create, we will understand later, not now. But I wanted to give a small demo. What I have to do, let me go back to the computers. Not this one, notebook. Yes, this is the one. So I'll take this one, copy. I just wanted to see what happens. This C1, now this C1 became a DNS server, right? Now it is DNS server. What it contains? It contains a zone. What is the name of the zone? Ekascloud.com. Let's take only Ekascloud.com now. And Ekascloud.com, what I will do here is, in Ekascloud.com, I will create one record. I'll create one host record. That's a host record. What is the host record? Says if somebody wants to access www, let me type like this, www. If somebody wants to access a record, what will be the IP address? 172.30.0.20. I will type like this. What is the name of the zone? Ekascloud.com. What is the name of the record? www. See here, this is the recorder, this is the zone. Where is the record? Under the zone. So what will be the fully qualified domain name of this record? The fully qualified domain name of this record is www.ekascloud.com. So that's a fully qualified domain name. And W means website. We have to register the website. What I will do in this scenario, I will make the C2 is a web server. I will make C2 as a web server, so that we work as a web server here. So this server acting as a web server, this server acting as a DNS server, and this is going to be a client PC. This is going to be just a client PC. So if client wants to access the web page which is there in this web server, this client will use this name. This client will use ekascloud.com name in its browser. So when he type that, he will open this web page. The DNS has to resolve. Let's go to web server which is C2. We go to tab and select C2, and I have to install IIS services in the server 2 computer. I'm in server 2 computer. Let it open. In meanwhile, you can ask some questions. I have a question from Bimal Kumar. How to restore the DNS? Nice question. Actually, the problem is I have to teach you how to take backup first. Without backup, how to restore, right? We have all this session in later classes here. I will teach you. I'm not skipping this one. I just wanted to postpone these sessions in later one. I will have so many sessions. Around 5 to 6 sessions will be DNS. This is the first class. Please continue to these sessions. I will teach you everything in one by one session. How to take backup, migrate, how to restore, everything will be there here. I just want to install IIS here. What we have to understand, you can ask anything if you have regarding this, but see, I'm few questions I'm postponing it to next one. Muhammad Arif, next session. I think you are attending this first time, that's why you have this question. When will be the next session? Every Sunday 5 to 6 India time. 5 to 6 or 6:30 we have continuous session. It is like a course, weekend course, Windows Server Administration course. You can attend this session. This will be there for however we have sessions from last 2 months. You can see our previous sessions also. We had a PowerShell session, AWS, Azure, so many sessions. And I thought to take the entire course of Windows Server Administration, so that I'm taking. If I am not, some other faculty, some other trainer from Ekascloud will take these sessions. So continuously Facebook live sessions will be there every Sunday evening India time. If you are from any other country, you have to go with India time, 5 to 6 or 6:30. So still it is going on installation. When IIS is installing, we have to just I just wanted to show the demo how DNS works, but what is host record, what is SOA record in the DNS, we will understand in next week session. If I go here, you may have many questions like this. What is NS record, what is SOA record, and we can create many more records. Alias record, exchanger record, CNAME, host, AA. We will understand. Ram Kumar is asking one question. Sir, what is root domain and the child domain? Actually, the root domain and child domain concepts comes under Active Directory. In Active Directory, we have a domain level option. Say here, for shortcut way I'm just telling you, but I cannot explain you more. When you have server with Active Directory running with the Active Directory server, this is called domain controller icon. This is the icon for domain controller. When you have more number of users, to access, from the branch office, you simply create one child domain controller as a branch office. You are dividing one domain into two. This is called root domain and child domain. But we'll have multi-domain concepts in this session, where I can explain you everything about child domain, root domain. This is how domains are look like. Root domain users will be there, child domains users will be there. When you have like this Ekascloud.com is a root domain. You may have child domain for Ekascloud, AWS or Azure or something. AWS.ekascloud.com is the child domain. AWS is a child, parent name it includes automatically. Okay, I can explain you this alone, but if I want more information, you have to please wait for the sessions will come later. Okay. This is installed, IIS is installed. I just want to go C3 is our client PC. Okay, we go to Internet Explorer. I try to open the web page. When I try to open the web page of C2, 172.30.0.20, this is a IP address of Windows Server. IIS, so it's contacting, getting the web page, Windows Server, it's getting fine, right? Okay, so if I want to open this web page by using name, that is what our concept, right? Opening web page with IP address is not a concept. Open web page with a name, that's a concept. So what I have to do, I have to go and type this name, www.ekascloud.com. Will it open? Let's see. Let's see and check. Before go to client, we have to go and create a new record. New record. What is a record? Say www. I am telling to DNS server. I am telling this DNS server. If somebody comes with a www.ekascloud.com, you have to tell this IP address 30.0.20. Are you able to understand? When what I said to DNS server, if somebody comes to you with the www.ekascloud.com, you just tell them this is IP address of www in ekascloud.com. So when they got the IP address and they will contact to DNS web server and get the page. Let me go and test whether it works or not. I have a question for you. This is the last question in the class, ready to answer in comment section. I will go to open browser again. Open browser again and type www.ekascloud.com. Ready for answer. Will this page open or not? You have to type the answer in comment section. Will this page open or not? If it is yes, how? If it is no, why? You have to tell this. If the page is open, how it open? If page is not open, why it is not opening? Before entering, I will see your comments. Balaji Siva saying no. If you type the reason, that will be also very good. Muhammad Arif saying yes. Pavan Kumar yes. Go pin yes. Bimal Kumar yes. Suresh Bhupati sir, is DNS server added to NICAD? Very nice question, sir. You know very well DNS. Okay, 50% yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, done, fine, great response. See, it will not open. It will not open. It's contacting invalid address. It is not open. Why? Because this server doesn't know the IP address of DNS server. The client PC, if I go back to this concept, The client PC doesn't know who is DNS server. When it doesn't know the DNS server, how it is possible to resolve the name to IP? Bimal Kumar saying HTTP. Nagaraj Kumar saying okay. I got so many responses. DC DNS entry is already mentioned in DNS record. HTTP yes. Web page is not yet created. Actually web page is created. Name is resolved by IP. No. Let's have all the questions answers here. Very simple here. I will go here. I'll take this IP address. Which IP address? DNS server IP address should be configured in client as preferred DNS server. I say preferred DNS. Whenever you want to resolve the name to IP address of DNS, you must configure the DNS server's IP address in the client PC. You got it right? So you must whatever IP address, it doesn't matter. The computers and servers will be in the same network or different network, it doesn't matter. Right now I am working in the same network. You may have different network also. If you have different network, you give the same IP address. There must be a connectivity. If you have same network, still you give the same IP address. Let me go and finish this topic by assigning this IP address. I close everything. You know right how to open command prompt, NICAD, properties. I will go to NICAD. Where I am in client PC. You have to set the preferred DNS 172.30.0. What is IP address? 10. You have to set the preferred DNS as DNS server address. If you give okay, and you make sure in command prompt whether the preferred DNS is configured or not. ipconfig/all. ipconfig/all will give the complete information of your NICAD. Somebody is asking here gateway. Mr. Balaji Siva asking a gateway. No Balaji, we don't want any gateway here. We want DNS server. The client, this computer doesn't know who is DNS server previously. Now this computer knows the DNS server. If I type something, immediately the request goes to where? DNS server. Let's go and test. If you see the web page, give the like button. Ekascloud.com. I will be getting the web page. So here is our output. This is how working with the DNS. We got the DNS web page, and you can ask anything if you have a query regarding this alone. What else? I hope this is enough for today's session. We have what I just summarize. I'll summarize all the what we have discussed. I will go to notebook. What we have discussed. We started the name resolution, NetBIOS and DNS. We understood the NetBIOS name resolution use computer name to IP address, and DNS uses domain name to IP address. This is how NetBIOS name look like. This is how domain name look like. And these are some dummy servers. Don't consider this. This is how we designed a small topology to understand. And server 1, 2, 3, and we have these servers. And we worked with the NetBIOS first. Many of you joined late. So if you see that first one in first half an hour, you will understand how NetBIOS works. What are the drawbacks of NetBIOS? The first half an hour session will be NetBIOS. After half an hour will be DNS. And this NetBIOS will send a broadcast for everybody to resolve the name to IP. This is problem with the network IPs, and it works only within a small LAN. But when we go with the DNS, DNS should be like this IP address. We cannot use Google computers name. We use Google domain name to open access this. And here we came to understand DNS. What is DNS? how the hierarchy structure of DNS zones. If you want to watch this, you please watch this video. This video will be available in the YouTube channel and Facebook page. And this is how we came to install DNS, configure DNS, DNS manager, DNS database, zones, and records and names, nature of zone, forward lookup, reverse lookup, and back to how we understood only primary zone. We will be having secondary zone with multi DNS concepts. Mr. Mohan Babu asking, can we give multiple DNS IPs? Yes, Mr. Mohan Babu, we can give multiple DNS IP addresses. In which case we provide multiple DNS IPs, we will see in the next class, because in next session I will bring all the secondary zone and all. There you will understand how can we use multiple IP addresses. We can give more IP addresses in each DNS client, but based on depends on the scenario, it may change. We will understand all the scenarios. I cannot tell you, explain you many more. I cannot dump you. We will understand. So we had a question how DNS works. AD works without DNS. No. Can DNS works without AD? Yes. This is what the output we got. And here the scenario where we install DNS, where we create one web page and we use the client PCs to resolve the name to IP. This is how we got the response. That's all the topic for today. And next session we will understand the multiple DNS servers, load balancing, how to balance, and what are the types of records, and the name resolution methods, forward lookup zone, and we have many more topics here. I just wanted to introduce this session. That's all. If you go to YouTube/C/Huzefa, this video will be available in this YouTube, and you can find Ekascloud Facebook page. Under page you can find videos. So this video available in 2 places. Wherever you want, you can watch. Mr. Suresh Bhupati is a good session. Thanks a lot. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you all once again. For everybody who's attending this session continuously, keep on attending this. I just wanted to give the entire Windows Server concept as a free of cost. Okay, thank you all once again. I'm going to end this session. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you once again. Bye.